She's a magician in the kitchen.
Aunt Liz TV.
Watch it on Mondays and Thursdays.
Liz TV.
Cooking yummy foods and tasty treats.
Hey everybody, it's Tasty Thursday again. Now, you might see all of the ingredients behind me and be a little bit worried about our recipe today, but I promise you the preparation is the most important part, and that's what takes the longest. So, there really aren't that many ingredients. Today we are making lasagna roll-ups. Now, I first had lasagna roll-ups at an Italian restaurant a couple of years ago as an appetizer, and they were delicious. And so I found this recipe and I thought, oh, that would be perfect for a Tasty Thursday appetizer. Now, you can also make these as a main dish, and if you want to make them as a main dish, then you would use an entire lasagna noodle. But you can see, this is a whole noodle, but you can see I cut it in half, so that's what makes it appetizer size. So I've already cooked my lasagna noodles and they're cooling. They're all cut in half and ready to go. What we need to do right now, I have some hamburger meat cooking already, and I mixed that with some chopped up onions and some Italian seasoning. So now what we're going to do is add our crushed tomatoes in just one entire can. So we'll open this up, and we're going to let the tomatoes and the meat simmer for just a little bit while we assemble the rest of our ingredients in our mixer. And my can opener is not wanting to cooperate. Has that ever happened to you? We'll try it in another spot. Much better. So anyway, these lasagna roll-ups, you can customize them however you want. For somebody that can't have cheese, you could do just meat in them and still have roll-ups. You could add some extra vegetables. You could add mushrooms and green peppers if you like. You could really be really creative with this. Okay, so this is what our crushed tomatoes looks like on the inside of the can. We're going to just pour this in to our meat mixture. I'm going to pour carefully because it likes to splatter. So we're going to just let this stir. We're going to mix this in with our meat. Smells really nice and tomatoey. Now our other ingredients that I've got here we have some mozzarella cheese, and I'm trying something new this time. I'm using part mozzarella that's part skim milk, and I'm using part that's whole milk. Now the whole milk mozzarella is what Italian restaurants use, and when you eat whole milk mozzarella, it's kind of squeaky in your teeth. It's really, really tasty. And then we've also got one egg in our little egg cup. We've got some ricotta cheese, and we've got some shredded parmesan cheese, and then we've got salt, pepper, and some Italian seasoning. So the next thing we're going to do while that is just warming up nicely is go ahead and put our ricotta cheese into our mixing bowl. In it goes. And then I'm going to add our egg. And then to that, I'm going to just kind of eyeball it and add half of our mozzarella cheese. We're going to use the rest of our mozzarella to put on top. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to take just about half of it and just drop it right in the bowl. Okay, now I'm going to put my mixing paddle on and mix it up just until it's mixed. It won't take very long. Looks good. Okay, now I'm going to stop it and I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. I'm going to just sprinkle it in there. Probably about a half teaspoon, maybe closer to a teaspoon. If you like things really well seasoned, you should add one whole teaspoon. And then I'm going to add salt and pepper. That was our pepper. Now we're going to add our salt. And now we're going to mix this up and let our seasonings get all blended. I think that looks pretty good. Unplug our mixer because we're done with that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a regular sized baking dish, which I have right here. And we're going to start assembling our lasagna rolls. See, it's really not that hard. Okay, so we'll scoot this stuff back. Here are our lasagna rolls. So the first thing we're going to do, now you're going to need your adult assistant to do this part because your sauce will be hot. You're going to take a little measuring cup, and mine is 1/3 of a cup. And what you want to do is get enough sauce just to cover the bottom of your pan. Or maybe one more. So in this size pan, which is an 8x8, it's about a cup, 3/4 of a cup to a cup. Just a nice little bed of sauce for our lasagna rolls. Okay, so next what we're going to do is take one of our lasagna noodles. Oops, they stuck together. So I've got this one, and let's see, you might need an extra plate. I forgot to get an extra plate. We're going to put our lasagna roll on your plate and take a little bit of your cheese mixture out of your mixing bowl and just put it right in the middle. That looks good. And then we're going to just roll it up. This is what it looks like. And then you're going to just lay it right in the pan. So I'm going to keep layering making my lasagna rolls, and then we'll come back and check it right before you put it in the oven. Okay, so you can see we've got our pan of lasagna roll-ups. Now we have 10 little lasagna rolls, which if you have 10 people, each person can get in one roll. But if you have more than 10 people, after they're finished baking, you can still cut them in half and you'd end up with like mini lasagna rolls. Okay, so after we've rolled them all up, we're going to take our measuring spoon again, or measuring cup again, and we're going to put more sauce over the top. And then we're going to add some more cheese. Now, I don't remember if I already said this, but our oven is preheated to 375. That's a pretty important part because if you don't preheat your oven, it's going to take a really long time before you can eat these delicious lasagna rolls. Let's see, we'll do one more scoop. Okay, so we'll spread our sauce around, and now we're going to add the rest of our cheese that we're saving over here so we can just mix them together. So we've got the rest of our mozzarella and the rest of our parmesan, and we're just going to sprinkle right on top. And then we're going to bake this for about 30 minutes. And when it comes out, oh my goodness, it's going to be delicious. Now, if you're going to make this for, you can make this for supper, but if you're going to make it for a football party, you might want to start this before you start some of your other things, since it does take 30 minutes to bake. So, ask your adult assistant to put this in the oven for you. Set our timer for 30 minutes. And now it's time to clean up. Okay, we're ready to take our lasagna rolls out of the oven. They smell really delicious. In fact, while this is baking, Taste Tester is going nuts. Okay, so we are going to let it cool. I've actually got a piece already cut. Trick photography. And it's all ready for Taste Tester to taste test. So I'm going to go find him and we'll make his taste buds happy.